They weren't meteors. They weren't planes. Then what were those eerie green fireballs lighting up the American sky? Imagine it's a cold desert night in the late 1940s. You're looking up at the stars, and suddenly, a brilliant emerald green orb silently streaks across the darkness. It's moving too slow for a shooting star, too low for a plane, and it glows with an unnatural, almost sickly light. Before you can even process what you're seeing, it vanishes without a trace. This wasn't a one-time event. For years, these mysterious objects haunted the skies over some of America's most sensitive military installations, leaving scientists, pilots, and top-level government officials completely baffled and, frankly, terrified. Before we uncover the shocking truth about these glowing orbs, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more mind-blowing mysteries. The story of the green fireballs is one that the people in charge really hoped would just go away. It's a rabbit hole of classified reports, eyewitness testimony from credible sources, and a phenomenon that defies every logical explanation. These weren't just strange lights, they were seen as a potential threat to national security during the most paranoid era of the Cold War. They appeared to be intelligently controlled, performing maneuvers that were impossible for any known technology at the time. So if they weren't ours and they weren't the Soviets, then whose were they? Let's get into the 40 strange and mysterious facts about the green fireballs. It all began in the winter of 1948. The first widely reported sightings of these bizarre emerald green fireballs started appearing in the skies over New Mexico. These weren't just random sightings. They were happening directly over top-secret military bases, including the infamous Los Alamos and Sandia labs, where nuclear secrets were being developed. The experts were stumped. Leading scientists at the time confirmed the fireballs were too slow, flew too low, and glowed far too brightly to be any known meteor. This wasn't just a one-off meteor shower. The green fireballs kept coming back, reappearing night after night in the exact same regions, almost like they were following a patrol route. Military pilots were scrambled to intercept these objects. They reported chasing them, only for the fireballs to vanish instantly or accelerate at speeds that were, well, physically impossible. That brilliant green glow was a huge puzzle. Some folks theorized it was caused by burning copper, but when no debris was ever found, that theory just fell apart completely. The threat was so real that in 1949, the United States Air Force launched a secret investigation called Project Twinkle, setting up special cameras to finally identify them. So what did Project Twinkle find? We may never know. The final report was immediately classified and the public was left in the dark with no clear answers. These things moved at incredible speeds, yet they were completely silent. Witnesses were stunned that there was no sonic boom, no engine roar, just eerie silence. This wasn't just hysteria. Even the top physicists and astronomers working at Los Alamos saw the green lights with their own eyes and were utterly baffled by them. In the thick of the Cold War, the Air Force had one primary suspect: the Soviets. They feared these were advanced Soviet surveillance craft, but found zero evidence. Unlike a rock falling from space, witnesses swore these orbs were controlled. They appeared to make deliberate turns and change direction, as if someone was flying them. Today, we'd call them UFOs. But back then, officials carefully avoided that term. The green fireballs were, however, a huge part of that first wave of UFO sightings. This went way beyond the Air Force. The FBI and the powerful Atomic Energy Commission were both brought in to investigate, showing how seriously this was being taken. While New Mexico was the hotspot, it wasn't the only place. The eerie green glow was also reported lighting up the night skies in Texas, Arizona, and California. In one of the most chilling details, these very visible objects were often completely invisible to radar, suggesting a technology far beyond our own understanding of stealth. Some of the most unnerving reports were of fireballs seen in broad daylight. They were so bright they outshone the sun, glowing with that same impossible green light. A few witnesses described the fireball splitting into multiple smaller orbs mid-flight, which then maneuvered independently before reforming. Meteors just don't do that. The fireballs often had long, glowing tails, just like comets, But, unlike comets or meteors entering the atmosphere, they produce no roaring sound, just that dead silence. Some of the most unbelievable accounts describe the orbs performing sharp, zigzag patterns in the sky, a maneuver that would be impossible for any natural object or conventional aircraft. Make no mistake, during the height of the Cold War, the United States military considered these unidentified objects a very serious and direct threat to national security. While the military was in a panic, many reports from ordinary civilians were deliberately ignored, dismissed, or outright denied by the authorities trying to control the narrative. The go-to government excuse was, well, weather balloons, but honestly, that explanation made no sense. The fireball's speed, color, and maneuvers just didn't match a balloon in any way. The locations weren't random. They consistently appeared over nuclear missile facilities and top-secret test ranges, almost as if they were watching our most dangerous weapons. The patterns were just too specific. Many researchers, including those in the military, reluctantly concluded the fireballs were displaying clear signs of intelligent control, not just random chance. The timing is, honestly, incredibly suspicious. The green fireball phenomenon exploded just 1 year after the infamous 1947 Roswell incident, adding even more fuel to the extraterrestrial theories. World-renowned meteor expert Dr. Lincoln LaPaz studied the fireballs for the military. He later publicly admitted that he and his colleagues simply could not explain them. Sometimes, the fireballs appeared to crash into the desert. But despite intense searches, not a single impact crater, fragment, or even a scorch mark was ever discovered on the ground. It wasn't just military pilots. Seasoned commercial airline pilots also reported terrifyingly close encounters, and some even risked their careers and licenses to go on the record with what they saw. The Federal Aviation Administration, which is the agency in charge of the skies, logged many of these credible pilot reports, but ultimately, they just had no official explanation to offer anyone. Some eyewitnesses later claimed they were visited by government agents, the classic men in black, and were warned, sometimes even threatened, to stay silent about what they had seen. This might not have been just an American problem. Similar strange green fireballs were also reported in Australia, Japan, and parts of Europe, hinting at, a global phenomenon. In one of the most unnatural behaviors, several orbs were seen coming to a dead stop, hovering silently in mid-air for several moments before darting away instantly. Despite the best efforts of the United States military and years of sightings, not a single green fireball has ever been shot down, captured, or retrieved for study. Even with thousands of sightings, clear photographs are almost non-existent. The few that exist are, well, frustratingly blurry, usually showing just a faint streak of green light. Usually skeptics can find a logical cause. But with the green fireballs, even the most hardcore debunkers couldn't offer a single, consistent explanation that fit all the facts. The most popular theory is that the fireballs were spying. Their appearance over nuclear sites suggests they were keenly interested in America's new and, terrifying atomic secrets. Then, as mysteriously as they appeared, they were gone. By the mid-1950s, the consistent nightly sightings of the green fireballs suddenly stopped, deepening the mystery even further. While the 1950s wave ended, the story isn't over. Similar green orbs have been spotted in the 2000s, though not as frequently, making some wonder if they ever left. To this very day, the mystery of the green fireballs remains one of America's greatest unsolved cases, buried under decades of official secrecy and public speculation. So there you have it, a phenomenon that terrified the military, baffled the world's smartest scientists, and seemed to possess technology that was light years ahead of its time. The green fireballs weren't just lights in the sky, they were a direct challenge to our understanding of the world. They appeared with purpose, observed our most sensitive locations, and then vanished without a trace, leaving behind nothing but questions and a legacy of fear and wonder. The fact that Project Twinkle was shut down and its findings classified suggests the authorities either found nothing, or they found something so shocking they decided the public could never know. The silence from the government is perhaps the most telling clue of all. If they were simply a strange type of meteor or a natural atmospheric event, why the secrecy? Why the intimidation of witnesses? The logical holes in every official explanation are big enough to fly a fleet of fireballs through. This mystery forces us to confront uncomfortable possibilities about who or what might be watching us from above. It's a cold case that remains wide open, a chilling reminder that there are some secrets the sky refuses to give up. So, were they secret weapons, alien probes, or something even stranger? Tell us what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more chilling mysteries.